Good morning, America. First of all, that is not like the local news channel picked that up. No, we're like you said, this is worldwide. And guess what? It's gonna run a few times that day because they do a rerun for the people on the West Coast, and it's all these things, right? So first of all, give me the before somebody called and made a phone call about Good Morning America. Where was your business? What were you guys earning at that time? And what was the thing that created the linchpin moment for Good Morning America to even pick up a phone?
So the Good Morning America special was really just about our debt payoff story. So when we started on Instagram, that's all people knew us for, our debt payoff story, because that's all we were actually sharing. So the segment really ended with us saying, and we started a cleaning business during this time. Literally, that's how it ends. And so there's not much mention around that. It's more about the debt payoff and the multiple side hustles that we had. So we had a article come out on Black Enterprise, and that's how they reached out because they saw the article of our debt payoff story. And if I'm not mistaken, they actually emailed. And we're both like, this is probably not real. They were there the next day. Cameras in the house the next day, ready to roll. And they came, recorded, it aired. Then Dallas News came. They saw it on Good Morning America, and then they wanted to get us on as well because they're like, "Whoa, you're living in Dallas. You're part of us now." So we want to hear the story, and we taped it that way. But that's how that went. Seeing the Black Enterprise article because we asked them, "How did they find us?"
Yeah.
So then I was gonna say from that side, that's where some of the other publications started to come into play after Black Enterprise and Good Morning America started creating a snowball at that point.
Yeah. So I want to hear this because I think it's interesting. You start a side business and you're growing it. You probably can see there's an end in sight at some point during this journey, right? And you probably saw okay, I know we're probably gonna leave on this date with my job. But then that moment happens and there's all of this flash playing notoriety in the moment, right? One, did you feel prepared to capitalize on the moment? And two, what was the scariest part about being that well known?
I don't know if we thought about capitalizing on the moment at that time. Not really.
This is 2019, 2020.
No, it was COVID. It was January
2020.
Yeah, January 2020 is when Good Morning America came out. I don't even know if we had. I think we had 4,000 followers. I don't even know if we had 10,000. I don't think so. So yeah, it was a low count that we had. So I don't know if we were feeling to capitalize it. But at that point, I started to think okay, this is a possibility. My job could see this, and then maybe I ain't saying nothing bad about them, but maybe it could be I may have to have a conversation. That was the only thing I thought about, but I don't know.
I think that's actually a good point. I think we became mindful of what we said a lot more. Our words became a lot more intentional. Our posts became a lot more intentional. And I think we switched from our personal lives to the business around that time too. So we paid off the debt and we switched from the debt payoff journey to the cleaning business and the side hustle journey versus the personal life stuff. So we kind of pushed the personal life conversation aside. Stop mentioning the name of our cleaning business. Stop mentioning the name of our jobs. Stop talking about what we did and focus more on building things outside your 9 to 5.
Hey, I know you're enjoying this episode, but what would be helpful for you right now? Not only continuing to listen to these episodes and these interviews that we conduct, or being able to build you a high value side business. That's right. Well, I have something for you. We've created the most active community, the top of the line masterclass that you need to be a part of. It is called the Side Business Masterclass. That's right. I need you to go right now to sidebusinessmasterclass.com. Join us. Every single week, I am giving you an opportunity to learn and hear what we are actually covering. And more importantly, you can be a part of our program. That's right. Inside of our program, you're going to get masterclasses. You're going to get exclusive access to experts. You're going to learn and be able to leverage our focus framework. More importantly, how you can use it using the current skill sets, that you're already using on your day job? And how do you turn that into something that can be a high value side business that can start to make you your own revenue that you pull the lever on? Because I'm telling you right now, if you don't create your own leverage, you're somebody else's. So go to sidebusinessmasterclass.com right now and let's get started building you a high value side business. And let's get back to the episode. Yeah. Now, there was a time, and correct me if I'm wrong, not one side business, not two side businesers, not three side businesses, not four side businesses. You had 5? Is that, am I hearing that right?
That's when we were that's when we were trying to pay off the debt. Yeah.
And I don't even want to say they were businesses. We were
jobs.
definitely jobs and side hustles at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Talk to us. Tell us what they were. What were they?
So we had, we were doing Rover, which is like an Airbnb for dogs. Basically, people, instead of you sending your dog to PetSmart, you leave them at somebody's home. So like I said, I work from home, so we were watching dogs, and I would watch dogs in the day and walk them because we have a dog. So that was one thing. We were working at a gym. Equinox was a gym we were working at for $9 an hour. And I stayed there long enough to become a manager at the front desk. So we did that, but it was free membership. So we really enjoyed that. I'm a mental health therapist. So I started doing private practice on the side while I was still working my 9 to 5. It was just with a whole different company. We were doing Turo. We were renting our car out when we had 2 cars at the time on Turo on that platform. And what else am I missing? I think sometimes you did some surveys here and there, but I think those. Then
you picked up the other job.
Oh, I did a contract, and I did another contractor role that I was doing, and then we started the cleaning business. So there was a lot happening on top of our 9 to 5s.
All within those 2 years.
All within those 2 years. But
okay, so I hear all of this, and I can't help but wonder, how did you keep the marriage afloat?
Mm-hmm. So the most important thing with all the things that we mentioned was that, except for Equinox, we didn't really have to go in anywhere, if that makes sense. Everything was flexible that we can turn off if we wanted to. So watching dogs, we could close our calendar. Renting the cars, we can say no. The private practice, it was even flexible as well, like depending on my availability. So we made sure of those things when it came to us side hustling, and prioritizing that. So if ever a time we're not seeing each other, we're just passing by, we would make sure to have weekends or nights together to spend that time together. That's another reason why we did Equinox together. Because even if we weren't home, we're at the gym together. So we'll see each other passing by. Have lunch together.
Lunch conversations.
Yeah.
We go home together. So we were
prioritizing.
I think the Equinox part, and I definitely want to give them they props, because that probably helped us a lot during that time too, because we're working 9 to 5 and they're working from 5 to 10. And 5 to 10, we're both at the gym, but we both work there together. So if I didn't want to be upstairs, I just came downstairs at the front desk, and I'm literally standing there with her, and they knew we were married, and there was no beef or anything like that. So I think that was a big help for us. But like Janoka said, being intentional about, all right, we're not working this weekend. We're going out to date night. Speaking of, we got to plan that date night too. Planning those date nights, being intentional about that, just like being intentional about the monthly conversations.
Yeah, it's wow, man. That's incredible. My wife and I have found that there's times where we could be working on the same thing meaning we could be working on the same business, but not on the same things at the same time. And whatever I might be working on might be really stressful in the moment. How do you handle each other when those moments are kind of happening and the other person can see it, but you didn't know that maybe they were having that crazy wild moment and just things feel like it's a lot heavier? How are you helping each other?
For us, I would say a big part of it is making sure we have the right help in place too. Because I don't think people realize how much your personal life impacts your business life. So if things are, and then unfortunately or fortunately for us, and you as well, your house is your house and your spouse, and you also have your business there as well. It's all under the same roof. So whatever stress you feel in your personal life, you're going to feel it in your business life, and business and vice versa, equally. So I think making sure we have the right help in place, and it's not just house help, but just like family in place, friends, but then also business help as well. So we have an operations manager who runs the business, quote unquote, every day. We have a virtual assistant, a person who handles these customer service calls. So the things that we can work on are not as stressful on a day-to-day basis, but it's more of a strategic planning basis. So I think the day-to-day is a lot harder than some of the long-term strategic planning, because you could get caught up in that day-to-day and it becomes a big-ass whirlwind of problems at some point. Excuse my language.
And then before, like, you know, when the business had just started, we were just all on deck, both of us, you know, trying to figure it out and working together to figure that out. And we understood and know to this day still the strengths and weaknesses of each other. So if someone is in something, then it's like, okay, maybe I'll let you do what you need to do, and then you can bounce your idea on, you know, we can discuss it after so I can get a better understanding. How can I assist you if you're so overwhelmed? What can I do? Even if I can't do the exact task, has to be something that I can contribute to help to not make you so stressed about it. So that's another thing that we are sure to kind of discuss and communicate with each other.
Thank you so much for checking out this clip. Stay tuned so that you can make sure that you grab the full episode when it is released, coming soon. Subscribe, like, and share today.